Hi guys, and welcome to Storytime with George and Amber. I'm Amber, and today I'm going to be reading The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. Let's get on with our book. At the far end of town where the grickle grass grows and the wind smells slow and sour, when it blows and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, this is the street of the lifted Lorax. If you took in deep in the grickle grass, some people say if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood just as long as it could be, for somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? And far at the end of the town where the grickle grass grows, the Once-ler still lives. Ask him, he knows. This must be where the Once-ler lives. You won't see the Once-ler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurking at the top of the store. He lurks in his lurking under the roof where he makes his own clothes out of myth and muff to move. In those special dank midnights and August he peeks, out of his shutters in summer he speaks, and tells that the Lorax was lifted away. He tells you perhaps if you're willing to pay. This is where the Once-ler is. On the end of the rope he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss him 15 cents and a nail in the shell of a great-great-grandfather's snail. Anyway, the kid is throwing 15 cents and a nail into the buckets. Then he pulls up the pail and makes a most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his shovey, in a secret stained hole in his grumble of glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell you are for your ears alone. Here's slurps down the whisper phone to your ear, and the old Once-ler whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snarly hose. And he sounds as if he bad smallish bees up his nose. Now I tell you, he says, the chief sounded gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. He started way back, such a long time back. Way back in the days, the grass was still green, the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean. And the song of the little swan song rang out in space. One morning came to this glorious place. As I first saw the trees, the truffle trees, the bright-colored truffs of the truffle trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. Here is the lake, and all the truffle trees were so colorful. Under the trees, I saw brown blues frisking about in their bob-hubba suits as they played in the shade and ate truffle of fruits. From a rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of a fish humming while splashing around. Here are the fish splashing and dancing in their bob-a-loot suits and eating fruits. And here is the Once-ler. But those truffle trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. A touch of their roots was much more than silk, and they had a sweet smell just as fresh as buttery milk. For I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what to do. I unloaded my carts. In no time at all, I'd build a small shop. Then I'd chop down the first truffle tree with one chop. In the great scuffling skill, with the great speedy speed, he took the soft tuft and knitted a sneed. I don't get how he built a small shop in no time. And here he is. He chopped off the tree, and he's making a sneed. I know it's called a sneed. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked and saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him. That's hard. I don't know if I can. It was shortish and oldish and brownish and voices, and he spoke with the voice that was sharpish and bossy. I'm guessing that's the Lorax as he's stepping out the stump. Mystery said, with the sawdust sneeze, I'm the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees, and for the trees have no tongue. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset. He shouted and puffed, what's that thing you've made out of my truffle truff? And here he is, yelling at the top of his lungs at the Once-ler. Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a sneed. A sneed is a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it's other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for a carpet, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers, or bicycle seats. The Lorax said, are you crazy with greed? There's no one on earth who would buy that fool's need. And there they are. But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong. For just that minute, a chap came along. He thought that the sneed I had knitted was great, and he happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You can never tell what someone will buy. That's not very nice. The Once-ler is very mean. And here are the bears. The Aloud suits. As the person who bought that. I repeat, cried the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut your mouth if you please. I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, I built a radio phone, and I put in a way to call. I called my brothers and uncles and aunts and said, listen here, it's a wonderful chance for the whole Once-ler family to get mighty rich. Come over here and take the road to Northwich, turn left that weekend, and show up at Seuss. The Once-ler is not very nice to the Lorax. And here he is building. In no time at all, the factory I built, the whole Once-ler family was working full tilt. They were knitting sneeds as busy as bees, to the sound of chopping of truffle seeds. And here are the whole family's chopping, and they are all knitting truffle trees. Sneeds. As they're all knitting sneeds. Then, oh baby, oh how my business did grow. When I was chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which I whacked off 4 truffle trees as one smacker. We were making sneeds 4 times fast as before, and the Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. He is chopping, but 4 trees at a time. But the next week, he knocked at my new office door. He snapped at the Lorax, who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. I'm also in charge of the brown Aloud who are playing in the shade in their barbell suits and happily lived eating truffle shoots. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle fruits to go around. And my poor Aloud are getting the crummies because they have no gas, no food in their tummies. They love living here, but I can't let them stay. They have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys. You guys and sent them away. Though I once felt sad, but I watched them all go. But business is business, and business must grow. If a grass leads of crummies and tummies, you know. And all of them are going away, and the Once-ler doesn't even care. Because he's very mean, he just wants to make. He just wants to be rich and build his big, huge factory. I I mean no harm. I mostly truly did not. But I had to go bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads and the needs I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to south, to east, to the west, to the north. I went on biggering, selling more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. And there's a big, huge factory with like that was like a roller coaster, but it's filled with sneed trees, and they're going down here, which probably leads someplace. And here says north, west, south, and east. Then again, he came back. I was fixing some pipes when the old nauseous Lorax came by with smoke grapes. I am the Lorax. He coughed, and he whiffed. He sneezed, and he snuffled, and he yawned, and he sniffed. Once-ler, he cried, with a chorus cloak. Once-ler, you're making such a gum, so all this smoke. My poor swarm sons, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing with the smog in their throat. There's a Lorax, his eyes are red, and here's the Once-ler fixing some things in the pipe house that says up there. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. They cannot leave here. I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly a month or a year to escape the smog you've smogged up around here. There they are. There's a Lorax sending them off, and the Once-ler doesn't care a bit because he just wants to do the same thing as before. And the trees are turning gray because they're not happy that they're chopping them down, probably. What's more, snapped the Lorax, is there no words? Let me see a few words about the glubbity glub. Your machine chugs day and night without stop, making glubbity glob so slobbily slop. And do you know what this leftover grew? I assure the dirty old Once-ler man you. That's like a bunch of colors. That looks kind of cool, but this green stuff, no. It looks like a big yellow puffy goo thing. It looks like slime. You're clumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more they can hum. Their gills are gummed, and I'm sending them off. The future is streamy. They'll walk their fins and hopefully weary to search for some water that isn't so smeary. Here they are. The goo is going into the pond. And up here is the Lorax and the Once-ler. We can only see his arms. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yappy yap and say bad, bad, bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I'm just going at what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffle trees into sneeds, but everyone needs. At the very comment, we heard a loud whack from the inside of field with a snibbling smack, an axe on a tree, which we heard the tree fall. The last truffle tree of them all. There's them chopping the last truffle tree. No more trees, no more sneeds, no more work to be done. In no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, they waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and they drove away under the smoke-smugging stars. Now, all that was left is a sneed in a bad-smelling spot. I looked at my big, empty factory, the Lorax, and I. There's this big factory, the Lorax standing right there. Lorax said nothing. It gave me a glance. It just gave me a very sad backwards glance as he lifted himself at the seat of his pants, and I never forget the grin on his face. Then he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. Here's the Lorax flying out into the sky. And all those Lorax was here in this mess with a small pipe of rocks and one word, unless. Whatever that means, I just couldn't guess. It was a long ago, but each day since the day I've sat here and worried, Through the years while my building have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all my heart. And here it says, unless. And it's a big, huge factory. But now, said the Once-ler, now that you're here, the words of the Lorax seem perfectly clear. Unless someone like you gives a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. And here is back to the Once-ler in the